Hello, everyone. Well, the California fires have been devastating. And I know there have been a lot of natural disasters throughout the United States, but for some reason, this was personal. And it is personal because Richard was in the middle of it, in the middle of the fires, with the fires burning and the smoke and all that. So I'm the episode for today is how much fear did he feel and how much did that change his perception of life after that? Well, I don't know. The only person who can speak to us about it is Richard. So, hello, Richard. How are you
Uh,
today?
I'm good, Karina. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. This is really, again, it's quite unusual to be so close to a natural disaster. Not too long ago, watching another disaster on Netflix. Um, the tsunamis and watching what they went through, and then all of a sudden, weeks later, what happened, and what is happening here in LA is really a life-changing moment in a way because looking at areas that have burned in the Palisades, I I have a lot of contacts in that area that they're no longer there, and I have one confirmation from one of my old clients that yes, he did lose everything. And I've been in and out of the Palisades as well as Malibu, Santa Monica. I know that area well, and it is really it really takes a lot to understand how a moment you could be so amazingly happy going through your day-to-day life that that day or night earlier you could have been emailed that you're getting a promotion, all these little nuances of what's happening, and then like that gone. That is the scary part, and I don't know. It's just it's still sinking in. It really still is sinking in, and I think social media has not helped it out much. I think it's really fueled a lot of people in thinking different things because people coming in and the blame game coming in throughout everything. So without all that stuff going on, I feel for the people that have been impacted immediately, that have been wiped out, gone over. That's what the big concern is. Like, where did they go? What are they doing now? How are their kids? How are their pets? All that stuff comes to play, you know? So it brings it to me as a human being, an individual, being so grateful. And there were moments I was complaining to myself, not out loud, but just how the weather is, how cold. I don't like the cold. I don't like, and I'm just like all that kind of washed away, watching all this stuff happen where people are just like in a different type of zone, not in their comfort zone. They've been pushed out of their comfort zone. Now they need to rely on change no matter how it looks, feels. So it's brought a lot of different perspective to me, and yeah, it's really something, and it's sprouting all up and down California. So I'm I'm hoping that the rains have helped it,
Mm.
you know. Um, but that brings us to another level. But again, I can't speak on it because it hasn't happened. I haven't heard anything, but at least if the fires are knocked down, that stops a lot of that stops a lot of what was going on, and then we can deal with the next level of preparation of whatever is to come. But again, I think it really changed me in a way my mindset. So when I was able to be at the cabin and really look around at desert, I felt very fortunate that I'm here and this is still up. So yeah, yeah, it did give me a lot of time to reflect.
So, how did you feel though? Because I know you were. How did you feel at that moment? Because you were stuck almost, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
I
were
was.
so close with the fires and the smoke. How did you feel right there, right now? I mean, what was it like?
Yeah, it was difficult in a way because the air quality was bad. But then again, that's I would be a hypocrite talking about it because I smoke quite a bit. So it changed my way of going out and smoking because once I inhaled some of the smoke out there, it really made me sick. Smoking cigarettes all day, no problem. All night, no problem. A cup of coffee, no problem. But it was smelling and having that smoke, the chemical, those chemicals that really kind of made me sick. I don't get how that works, but it did. Driving around, I would have to leave Hollywood at LA to go to my location because I'm not out in the South Bay. So I just figured, okay, I got to just stay here. I'll stay further east, west, if you will, of this. Going through Topanga Canyon, I could not go through. I could not go through PCH. I could not go through Beverly Glen, Mulholland Drive. I could not go through those Laurel Canyon because of the fires. And I was afraid to go through the canyons and get stuck. No, I just stayed. I stayed around the Arcadia area. I stayed around some areas that I know I could go to and be safe because I have a friend out there, and he said, "Yeah, come on down. Let's sit and chat." So it kind of limited me to my travels and what I needed to do, but it's okay because I think that part of LA stopped anyway because of it. So yeah, yeah.
So, you said your perceptions changed, right? And I'm just thinking, did it change? Did something change within your life because of it? I don't know, your perceptions, your idea, your life. Did anything really change once you experienced it? Because you experienced it on some level, right?
Yeah, yeah. Again, I've never been one to take things for granted. I never believed in I am above all and I deserve this. No, there's nothing I deserve. I just feel very fortunate that wherever I go, I have shelter. Wherever I'm at, I'm safe. But it really brought me to a point to where I don't want to really watch social media, watch YouTube and watch any coverage on it. The first few days I did, I had to because there was a place that I was staying that close to Hollywood. All of a sudden it was in the Hollywood Hills and we were getting alerts that we have to go. That was I thought to myself, what do I bring? I have nothing. I have shit scattered all over everywhere. And I just figured, well, I got to just grab what I have and go from there and accepted that.
So, what were your
But
first thoughts? Sorry, Richard. I'm just thinking, like, what are your first thoughts? Like, what do I take? What was that first thought of? What was the first thing that you would want to take with you?
there was nothing really that important to take. It was just my phone, my laptop, chargers, and I think I had some magazines available that I was in, and I have some other ones that I thought about taking, and I just figured, well, if it comes down to it, and they're coming down the street, and it's coming, I'm just gonna grab what I can: a jacket, clothes. I that was my thought process, but again, you can't sit there and plan it out and pack like a container full of your stuff as if you're moving. No, the essentials, whatever you feel, whatever it is, and whatever was lost, I would have to just, I would just have to deal with it. But yeah, yeah, it was really something. So it was just the first few days, first 4 days, 5 days, where it was really something, and I haven't really paid much attention to it, other than road closures where I was going. Up north, Lake Hughes, Castaic. That's the 514. That's the five. And so I would be heading down that way from the 405 to the 5 to the 14, and there was fires around that area. And Silmar area had some fires up there. So again, it was really getting to that point to where these are main arteries that I take when I go up north. So I had to just wait it out.
So now I'm going to ask, is there a difference between Richard before the fires and Richard after the fires?
I think, you know what? I think it was a process already going, because as I said, watching social media, watching the reports, and listening to all the rhetoric between people that were going back and forth, I think I finally snapped internally of where um, I mentioned this on another live that I was on last week. Is I'm no longer taking shit from anybody. I'm no longer accepting what I'm not going to accept, and I'm getting a little bit more in the face on my social media, being a little bit more direct and pointing things out directly. I played Mr. Nice Guy for the longest time, and it wasn't a role; it was genuinely who I was. But after seeing so much and going through so much on social media with certain individuals, certain groups, certain entities, no more. I speak my mind. I say what I feel. And for those that are following me, that wish not to follow me, I'm you. Let's just put it this way: a lot of the people that know who I'm talking about, they don't need to be named. I think they recognize. I'm tired of being meek. I'm tired of people thinking that because I am so nice and kind, that allows them to do whatever they feel they can do or say. No, that's where it's changed me. The compassion for others has always been there, and it'll always be there. It's just I'm being a little bit more open and vocal about some of my thoughts politically without being political. What is happening right now with us, and what is happening to my people and the people of color, the indigenous, everything that's happening. And this is what's changed me, Karina. And I think it's a good change, because I believe speaking your piece and speaking your mind is so good for the soul. Now, you talk about this in your title: break fear, find freedom. Well, I was always fearful of speaking or saying something I shouldn't say. But who am I? Who am I? I don't have to watch shit. I am going to say and do what I feel I need to do to make a difference. I I believe that has been the biggest push for me, and I feel good about it.
And that's a beautiful place to be, Richard, because that's power and that's
That's
freedom,
power.
right?
Exactly. Your break fear, find freedom sits here 24/7, just so you know.
Well, that's
Okay?
a good thing. That's a good thing. As long as it's a positive thing, it's a good
I
thing, right?
I I think that is such an amazing mantra. I mean, just that, you know? Listen, I'm not for everyone. Everyone is not for me, but wherever that falls in, wherever that niche may be, from one to me, from me to another, then so be it. Let's do this. I cannot I cannot work and I cannot deal, or nor can I spend any time on dealing with people that are negative, naysayers, talking about other people constantly and just not doing anything in their life, but they think they can tell me how to do my life. I No, no, no. That's laughable. But what I get to do here is on my platform is I get to do what I love doing, and that's inspiring. And change is going to come. And I always mention this, the inevitable, the change is the inevitable, whether it's through a drastic change, which happened with the fires, floods, and whatever's going on, or something changes you because you had a breakthrough, you had a revelation, something clicked. It's all good. It's all good. It's all about empowerment. It's all about self empowerment. And I think waking up the masses to really see what's going on may take some time. But right now, I look at life like this. I look at life on a level of patterns, of grids. We are operating here. Then you have the others that operate right here. It doesn't mean that they're in a higher level than us, as a human being. It just means that these are just the people run on different wavelengths. And so we're running and doing our thing, running our thing. And then you have the political airstream up here, the circus, the theater. And as long as I don't get involved and try to change up here and drive myself crazy, then if I can stay within my own and keep my circle to where I can keep people motivated, inspired, loving themselves, pulling themselves out of a rut because they now feel worthy better than they felt years ago because of something that I was able to share with them, then that's where I want to be. Whatever happens, happens. I can't change the political forum that's going on. But what I see happening right now to my people is disgusting, is disturbing. But that right there, they just gave me power. They gave me power to speak and to make a change in my circle, to make a change in my community, to make a change in my area. And if I can make other people think as well too, and to speak and be vocal, be proactive, be one in action to make change, then that's what we have to do. And that's what I can say about this is thank you, shit show, for showing me that now I am going to speak more, I am going to say more, I am going to do more. And I think a lot of people on social media that have been seeing some of my indirect quotes without naming, they get it. And I love that they get it.
Well, that's a beautiful thing again. So that change is where it starts, right? A change
Yes.
starts with you, and once you change, then it just reverberates into the rest of your life, and
Oh, yeah.
things change and start growing within that. So now, what I'd like to know is now with this new found Richard, right? This new powerful, this Richard that's finding freedom. How's your life changed? Have you okay, I'm sure you've had a lot of people that have unsubscribed from you, but you know what, that happens all the time, and like, who cares really at the end of the day. But what about you, the way you see your life, and have more opportunities coming into your life because of the way you've empowered yourself?
Yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah, I think this was ongoing for the past couple few months. And I think I had mentioned this to you. I was with this company I was only supposed to be there for a little bit. I only wanted to be there for a little bit. I only wanted to be there part-time, and I ended up going full-time. But being there the way I was, it put me in a very bad situation with the office, the owner that was very toxic, abusive. And at that moment, I started thinking of ways that I need to really get back into what I was doing before, and that was independent consultant, independent sales, where I would be the middleman, the liaison, the the one that calms people before it goes into a legal action. I realized that's what I was hired for years ago for this company, and that's what I love to do. Is I love to be the mediator. I love to bring peace to people with solutions, with a resolution. I don't believe in dividing people. I believe in bringing people together and making one see the other that they may not see, but let's work this out. What can we do to make you both happy? So that's where I'm at right now, and it feels so good. And I knew I wanted to change my direction in communications because it's communication. At the end of the day, it's communication. And I just decided, I'm going independent, going. I don't know where it's going to go, but have a good feeling it's going to go well. And sure enough, it's been going well. So I'm going to stay on that track. And again, that's who I was on the phone with earlier. It was very urgent because I have a client of mine that the state is trying to get him to sell his parcel. They're trying to come to as a vigilante group, and the neighbors trying to push him off his property. And I am dealing with the attorney of the state Parks and Recreation right now. So we're kind of in a three-way. So it was so important that I calm this man down, and that's what I love doing. That's what I do.
Now, again, this is a beautiful thing, because if you hadn't experienced that abuse within your relationship, your business relationship a few months ago, right? If you hadn't been in that situation, if you were forced into something more comfortable, and that's what made you go into something that you really love. So in hindsight, and in some weird way, that so-called boss or relationship was a blessing in your life, right?
Thank you. Yes, of course. You know, and I think that goes with any relationship in the past that didn't work out, that was toxic as all hell. Whatever you go through, there are lessons. And he absolutely pushed me in a direction because this is what I was doing before. I was a consultant. I was working for a solar home improvement company and operating their room, but I was getting a lot of people that were coming into the industry because I built a strong name and presence, that they would come in and look for me and say, look, we just invested in, we want to open up a marketing company with canvassing. We want to do this and do that. We hear that you're the one to come talk to. And so I opened up an office in Van Nuys that I was able to broker marketers, salesmen, build rooms for companies that were looking for marketing rooms to have incoming from Angie's List, next door, you name it, any of these home improvement. And so I understood that market, and I made a great time with it. And I'm thinking to myself, as I'm at this other company, sitting in there making probably a third of what I could normally generate commission wise. This is ridiculous. But I had to stay there because I had wiped out I had wiped out my schedule of other income just to focus with this company because it was taking a lot of my time. So I had to go back and start picking up the phone and making phone calls and getting things prepared. So when I did leave, I had something to do. So not only that, a lot of the clients that called this company while I was there called me, and that's where I'm at right now. That's what I'm doing. A lot of these people reach out to me because they knew that I would take care of them. And sure enough, so being there was a blessing because that's where I'm at right now. That's the reason why I'm with the client I'm with now, because he understood I know what I'm doing. He knew that I know how to put out fires, if you will. I'll step in, take care of what needs to be taken care of, and I make sure that all parties are happy. That's number one. And having a great sale on another one that came out of it, and working on my final before I sit down with this client on a solar and roof to finally seal a contract, sign it with the solar company. I had to bring all these people together. And I got to thank this guy because, again, if he hadn't have been that way, I would still be there. I wouldn't be doing I wouldn't be doing this. Who knows where I would be peace wise? But this has opened my eyes to let people know that I'm not pushy. I'm not demanding. I don't have that. I don't have that reign of terror of trying to overdo something with somebody. I just I work with them in a way that is information, knowledge, and I'm personable. I love dealing with people, and they see that, and that's what makes them so comfortable with me. So again, yes, there's no regrets at all. Actually, I'm glad I went there, and I'm glad he did what I did because now he's still as miserable as ever, but I'm not.
And again, that's a beautiful thing because I mean, we all choose our own lives, and it's really up to us to make ourselves happy. So whether he's miserable or not, that's really nothing, not our concern right now.
Nope.
So that's a beautiful thing because you had the courage to walk away and to finally say, you know what, I don't deserve this. This I choose myself, and I'm going to move forward because of it. So
Well, you know what? And another thing I learned. Well, it wasn't I had learned because I had already harnessed peace, and I already harnessed taking it in, processing. But there was so many times I could have lashed out at him, but I didn't. I pulled him aside, told him, I go, hey, I don't know what you're going through, but you seem to be a little bit more aggressive with me and disrespectful in front of people. And I don't understand that, but I believe you should rethink how you act. And I let it go. Then it can continue. And then even when I walked in there and brought him in the office, and I spoke to HR before I did because I had to let him know that, I can sue your ass right now. This right here is a toxic workplace, unacceptable. I have witnesses. I have recordings. I don't want to do this, but I feel I cannot do this anymore. So even on my way out, I thanked him for my checks and my commissions and paying me more for the days extra because he knew that I had something. He knew it doesn't quite make up for a few days' pay without going there, but he knew I had something on him. It wasn't a threat. It was nobody should be treated that way. And I put myself in that position. I blame me for putting up with it. But really, did I? I think what I did is I learned the fact of keeping cool, keeping calm, walking out of there like a man, speaking to him like a man, and never bowing down to his level. Never. So, yeah, that right there was very, very important. And I got to say, a lot of good things came out of it because there was another gentleman in there who works there part time and is also a football coach, basketball coach for a local high school team. And he saw what I went through with this man, and he saw how diplomatic I was with him in speaking to him as he's yelling at me and how I try to calm him down. He pulls me over outside on a break and says, I got to hand it to you. I have learned so much from you that I now use as an instructor dealing with teenage boys on the team, because I would get frustrated and yell and scream and, and I see how you act. I see how you respond. I see how you carry yourself. Thank you for being you. So, yes, there was a purpose for that place. There was a purpose for me being there. It changed
Again,
me. Yeah, it changed me, but it also brought insight from another human being inside there that would have never seen that otherwise.
so it was an amazing a place for growth again. So again, I just want to, what I'm hearing here is how you approached it in a certain way, in a loving way almost, and got that out. And you probably, because who knows his story, who knows what he was going through. So it's not about blaming here, but you showed him something as well, and you came out empowered. But again, you also helped someone to see how to approach something, which
Absolutely.
means which means that going forward, you behave differently with clients or whatever.
Well, Karina, you know, I was never one to lash out at somebody. It took a lot. It took a lot for them to get me to react. So that was really nothing that surprised me. I was really happy within me because I didn't go outside that level of respect that I have for others. And it's not something I do. So it wasn't surprising. But he did push me to that limit, right? He got me to that level where I was thinking about it. The key word thinking, I didn't react. I thought about it. I didn't react. So now I can understand if I spewed at the mouth every time someone said a little something and I barked at them, barked at them, barked at them, and then all of a sudden I didn't, then I would be really surprised. But no, it really just tested my limits, and it gave me that change in direction of like, okay, I don't need anybody in my circle anymore. I can do this alone. That's what I felt. I'm in control of my actions of what I do in business. Now I delegate where it goes, but I delegate it in a way that's professional. I delegate it in a way that is caring and loving and respectful. That right there is the difference.
And again, it's the self-empowerment, the power within yourself, because you realized at that point that you have a choice. You can either behave, you can either proact or react.
Oh yeah,
And
oh
from
yeah.
there, that's a beautiful thing, because that also built the self-respect and gave you the empowerment and the freedom to do what you needed to do to go to take the next level. So it actually was a very a great blessing in your life. I know that sounds so random, but it was a great blessing, because now you're here and you can see where you really want to go and have the courage to do it, because you've got the power.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. And the thing here too was, I've been out of that business for about 4 or 5 years, and I decided to go another direction, doing something totally different. But so I know the business. It's just I had to jump start it again and start building my clientele, start building a pipeline of contacts that I need to work with. And I have some great salesmen. I have great contractors out there that are fully licensed, bonded, insured, and have great reputations. And that's what feels so good in the confidence of what I do is I line up the right client to the right customer. I mean, I'm sorry, the right contractor to the right customer and vice versa. I make sure that I merge them together. They understand each other. They're working for the same goal, and that is to complete a task. And um, that's all I really wanted to do. And there's really no set time in doing it. It can happen in the morning, it can happen in the afternoon, it can happen at night, 6 or 7 o'clock. A phone call doesn't make a difference. So it's not really me sitting in an office from 9 to 5. I can be anywhere, any place, anytime, and make a deal. That right there is the big difference.
So, Richard, have you found freedom?
I found freedom. Oh yeah, yes, of course. I love that question, Karina. Have you found freedom? Yes,
So,
absolutely.
and the freedom, and you mentioned something about toxic relationships. Now you've also got the freedom because you've gained all this now, and I'm just assuming that you can, because you've gained all this power and this empowerment, right? Now you can also look at your relationships around you and say, I don't choose that. I choose this. I don't choose that. I don't want this toxicity in my life. I'm walking away, and have the courage to do that, right? Because you know
Yeah,
you have the power within you.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Um, I just feel that I've been really busy in a way where, like I said, um, we've been working on the film. We're waiting for the final soundtrack to be given to us. We have a set date, March 9th, for the release of Trimmer. Been working back and forth with the place up in Little Rock. I've been focusing on designing and working with what I'm doing on my clothing. Um, we just reached Friday the final decision on the first promo logo, and that's going to be the first logo of maybe two or three logos that we're going to have for this. And now searching out the items, the clothing, what I'm going to be using first and foremost, and expanding on that. And at the end of the day, what I'm looking at is fully designing shirts, pants that are accented with things that I love. And so I've been really just busy looking at fabric, looking at buttons, looking at rhinestones, looking at different details on stitching. I'm getting into something that I was never into. I just wore, but I feel like I would like it this way, not this way. I feel more comfortable this way. So I'm doing sketches that are going to give me a better understanding of rendering before stitching, whether I'm using a tailor or a seamstress. At least I know what I'm doing pattern wise, so I'm learning more, and I'm excited to wake up and know that I have something more I want to learn today. What's the texture of this fabric? What does this feel like? So I'm busy. I'm too busy to deal with anything else. And I love where I'm at right now, and I just want to be able to be free and do what I want, where I want, when I want. I don't hurt anybody. I just want to be of service. I want to feel respected as well as give respect. And I want to be around people that are driven. I want to be around people that are go getters. I want to be around people that are thinkers, doers, not people that sit there and talk about what they want to do, but take frickin' action and do it.
I love it. It's a beautiful place to be, Richard. So
Yeah.
congratulations, and congratulations on your new clothes line. Do you have a name,
Oh
or
my
you're
God!
waiting?
Yes. No. 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 It's out there. It has been trademarked already, so I can't say it. It is called GQ Rebelware.
Nice.
Okay. So again, this has been ongoing for some years, and I'll tell you, a gentleman by the name of Oscar Ramos out in Simi. I went to go do an assessment on his property. I knock on his door. I'm dressed in black, of course. What else would I be wearing? Right? He
Exactly.
opens
Yes, right.
he opens the door and he goes, before he says anything, it was GQ Rebel. What the hell? How are you? What? 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 So from that moment on, we are friends today. I've been to his place with his family for barbecues, and I met him, and we're friends. And that has a lot to do with my communication when I meet people with other companies and jobs, and we become friends afterwards because they know who I am and what I'm about. But he's the one that coined that name. And when I told him that one day I'm going to open up a clothing line, and that was 3 years ago, I go, that right there, I'm going to use, and I'm going to give I'm going to speak on it, on you, and on one of my logos that's going to go inspired by OR, which is going to be his initials. Um, he was so happy when I sent him the logo. He was so blown away. He's been telling everybody about it. So this this plug, if you will, this GQ Rebel is an attitude. Okay, it's a way that it makes you feel, not only in the fabric, but in the way that it makes you feel empowered. Now, empowerment comes from within, but when you put on a cloak or you put on a jacket, you put on something you feel comfortable in, that gives you like this step out into the world. Don't mess with me. I feel good. And so for the ones that are going to work 9 to 5, or they're working at home and they're in shorts or they're in a t-shirt, or they're going suit and tie, come the weekends, or they come out at night and they want to go out and be seen and to see, they want to represent that rebellious side in them that shows that, I'm I have an attitude. And the slogan is not just a brand, a lifestyle. And that's what I coined on that part of it. It was a creation between with my son and I gave him a template, I sent it to him, I gave him an idea of what I wanted, he sent it back to me, I took off from there, and sent it to the graphic designer. He came back with me something I didn't care for, really. I was looking at it, and I went online. I went to a design page, and I designed it. I did the final details. I love the lettering. I love how it looked. I love what I have in it, and it was a collaboration between my son and I. So I feel very proud of it. So the past couple weeks, I was able to get the trademark locked in, made the payment on it. And again, this is a partnership. I have a partner. I have a great friend of mine who's partners with me in Full Force Cinema Productions, and we've done film together in the past. And I met him on set. He has been one of my greatest. How can I say this? Believers in what I do, because he understands that I make money. Not only that, but he understands that whatever I put myself into, he wants to be involved too, because he sees the direction I'm going. I guess what I can say is he believes in me. So he is the financial guru, says, whatever you need, whatever we need to do to get your brand launched, I want in. Come on. You spend a lifetime trying to find people, because you have a vision, but you're limited on funds to start up. So now that it's been paid for, the trademark, and we're locked in on other entities in this trademark, we're locked into three that give us the trademark. It protects the name. Nobody can use it. I can brand it. Not only that, with the t-shirt company we're getting the shirts from, they're blanks. There's no place they come from. So not only do we get to put my logo stitched onto the t-shirts, onto the heart, onto the shirts, that's where it now becomes GQ Rebel Wear brand, like Fruit of the Loom, Hanes. So I'm very conscious of the type of materials that we're going to be using. I'm very aware of what's going on in the feel of the fabric itself. So I just got to say, it's brought me into a whole different level, and I don't I don't follow rules. I don't know what it takes to be a designer in clothing. I don't know what it took to be a model. I don't know what it took to be an actor. I don't know what it took to be anything. It's just I knew that I could do it. Period.
That's great. Now, I just want to go back for a moment because you were talking about Rebel Wear. Okay, I mean, there's so many brands out there that have clothes. What I heard here is about the lifestyle. So, what makes Rebel Wear, GQ Rebel Wear, besides Richard, right? Okay, you know. But what I'm saying is, what makes it different? Why is it a lifestyle? And why would I buy your brand as opposed to, I don't know, Chanel or someone? I don't know. I mean, like, you
Good
can't
point.
compare it, but I'm just saying,
No, no,
okay,
no, no.
I'm putting you on that level. So you take me to where I should buy yours instead of hers or
Absolutely. Well,
theirs.
I think for one, I think if you truly believe in a product that you have, it's how you market it and how you talk about it because I believe in it. Now, all my life, especially when I went black, when I went completely black with clothing, probably about 8 years ago, if not longer. Okay, I just started. I just started wearing black because I felt good in it. I felt empowered. The color, I just felt empowered by it. And so all my time going, that's where a casting director found me because I was all dressed in black, jewelry. The woman that discovered me got me into modeling. I was wearing jewelry in all black. Everybody that messages me on Instagram or they see me out in the streets, where do you get your clothes? How do you fit? How do you select what you dress? I love the way your style. Well, now I'm answering that question with the clothing that I have because it's not white. We may put out some white shirts, but it's mostly going to be black and charcoal gray because I believe those are the colors that give people the attitude and the lifestyle and I would say more the attitude. But to me, it's been a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle for me. So if I can share that with others because they ask me, I think I just answered the question. It's not like something I'm doing. I woke up one morning. Oh, I'm going to share with everybody my lifestyle, even nobody gives a shit. I am answering what people have been asking me for years. So now, there it is.
Well, this is exciting, Richard. So when are you launching?
I'm actually going this week to sit down with the silkscreen artist, and I'm selecting my first batch, which is going to be just V-neck shirts, black with white letters. I've taken a look at the charcoal shirts that he has. 'Cause I need to make sure that the quality is what I want. And then I'll do maybe the white on that and maybe some black on that as well. I don't know. But I'm starting with the black V-neck and tees. I haven't found quite yet the hoodies that I want because it had to be a certain texture. So I'm still looking for those. Oh, but remember, this all started January, the first week of January. The concept of me moving forward. So now I'm just lining everything up. I have the logo, I have it trademarked. Now I'm ready to start print on my first batch so I can start wearing it, promoting it, having a photo shoot with the shirts. And not only that, it's a matter of me being able to model my brand. Jewelry I'm going to be putting together, leatherware I'm going to be putting together, belts, you name it. It's going to be really something that's going to be complement. It's going to complement each of the pieces. So I'm again, it's I guess there's really no launch date. Sometime today. It's funny you said that. I'm going to end up posting the logo on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So, it's just a matter of it's going to be a soft open, but I know the direction I'm going to go. And when it gets there, then it'll be opened up with multiple products. Website won't be set up for a little bit. I'm not worried about that right now. I want to. I'm testing the market.
Nice, nice. I love it. And
Market research, if you will.
it's a great, it's a beautiful thing. For me, texture and like fabric is so important. So, what is different about yours? Because t-shirts are t-shirts are t-shirts, right? Or are they?
Yeah, no, yeah. They have a lot of 50-50 blend. It could be polyester and cotton, which is okay. They have a I choose to go with the I choose to go with 100% cotton because, you know, hypoallergenic. You know, you get a lot of people that are allergic to polyesters and different dyes. So with the fabric that I like to wear personally is cotton. You can't go wrong. You know. Now they have another product out there that is a little bit more shrinkable, absorbable. It absorbs the sweat. A lot of people are looking for that, and if I'm not really looking for, making seasonal wear, because I wear my clothes year round. I don't care if it's 80 degrees. I'll wear a black shirt. I want people to feel comfortable in the quality of the shirt. That's where I'm going. When it comes to the collared shirts that are going to have rivets and little studs and rhinestone and whatever I'm going to be accenting with it, they're going to be one of a kind buttons that are going to look really beautiful. They're going to stand out. Um, the belt loops on the pants. The pants are going to be a little bit more stretchy, a little bit more flared at the bottoms for boot cut. They're going to fit like a glove. You know, when you buy your first pair of spandex, if you will, you're going to feel so comfortable in them. You know, so this is a lot of research that I'll be going through, but this is the end goal: is designing the shirts and pants and pieces that can change out that give you that look. You know, a jacket is I'm working on right now that will probably give me a few months to work on and have it ready for next year's season. So this is all in the making, but starting to promote it, I'll be promoting this week.
Well, that's exciting. So we look
Yeah.
forward. We look forward to seeing what comes out and how it's accepted by everybody else. So
And I'll tell you,
congratulations, Richard. This is a very
thank you.
exciting time.
Thank you. And I got to say, it was because of this shit show that I went through mostly that brought me to this point because I already knew 2025 was going to be my year of locating a brand. And I'm still going to be doing that. I'm still doing that. But what better can it be for me to model my own brand? Hello. Yeah, I'll be doing that.
That's
So,
perfect.
um, people are people. And people are going to say what they think they want to do, but when years pass by and they haven't contacted you and they don't, I don't have time to wait. I wait for no one. This has
That's
pushed me in a direction where I cannot be I just can't be that nice guy anymore. It's more about being in your face, having that attitude. If people like me, so be it. If they don't, bye, go, move on. I am tired of being trying to fit into places to think that people are going to accept me, or years of kissing someone's ass forever and ever to get nowhere. Now I am not in any way, shape, or form in an area of game playing. I'm gonna say what I feel. I'm gonna do what I do. You're either with me or you're without me. Doesn't make a difference. I don't care. So
That's a good place to end because that's
I
a good place to be because I'd like to see now the difference between Richard of yesterday and Richard of today. So it'll be
yeah.
very interesting to see how things play out, right, Richard? So
Yeah.
power to you.
Yeah. I could get a lot of unwanted messages, from people that I may offend, but again, I don't care. That's not my problem. I'm never going to disrespect anyone. It's just I'm speaking and I'm being a little bit more vocal, and I want to stand up and be proactive on what's happening right now. I want to be a voice. There are so many great leaders out there that were silenced because of their voice. I want to make a difference vocally. I want to be able to speak my mind and for people to understand and respect my wisdom and my decision for being a little bit more open. Now, I spoke my mind, but this is onto a different level, and I'm glad to do so, and I feel no remorse about it. I don't feel anything about it. It's America. You woke me up.
Well, that's a good place. So this month has been very. There's been so much happening in this month. It feels like it's 6 months and not 1 month, which is
I know.
exciting in so many ways. And of
Sure.
course, just like you looked at what happened the last few months in your last job with different eyes and saw the blessings, I think that's what we need to do. Instead of complaining and crying and being so afraid, we need to find the blessings so we can find the freedom for ourselves within ourselves. Because in the end, it doesn't help criticizing and crying if you can't do anything about it. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Good point. Good point.
so thank you,
Yeah.
Richard. Any last?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak my mind. I thank you for giving me this forum. I really think again, this break fear, find freedom says it all. And the guests that come aboard and speak with you, and the ones that are up and coming, you're in good hands. It's a good program, a good format to be on. Thank you, Karina.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there. Thank you for commenting. And watch out for Richard and his new brand. It sounds like, wow, everyone wants to
Yeah.
find the rebel within them, right? So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the way it is. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being here. Thank you so much, Richard. We will chat soon.
Yes.
And watch the space for some exciting new things coming through. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.